Welcome back to True Crime and Sesh. You already know, light up, spark up, whatever you may need. It's October 19th, 1981 in Mansfield, Ohio. Debra Lee Miller, an 18-year-old high school senior, was living a normal life. She had friends, she went to school, dreams for her future, but one autumn evening, everything changed. Debra left her apartment to run an errand and never came home. Her family reported her missing. The next day, police began a search. They questioned neighbors and checked local hangouts, but there was no witness and no solid leads. Days turned into weeks. The community grew anxious. How could a young woman disappear without a trace in a small Ohio town? Then, the unthinkable. Her body was discovered in her apartment complex's storage area. She had been raped, strangled, and left in a storage closet. A brutal act that shocked the community. Investigators were at a standstill. There were no fingerprints, no clear suspect, no sign of forced entry. The case went cold for decades, leaving her family with only one question and heartbreak. But in 2019, a new lead emerged. Advances in forensic science and DNA testing gave detectives a glimmer of hope. Could technology finally catch the person who did this? What would you do if you knew someone in your neighborhood could be capable of such a crime? Fast forward to 2019, the Mansfield Police Department decided to revisit the cold case. Decades had passed, but forensic science had come a long way. Detectives sent the preserved evidence, hair and clothing samples, to a specialized DNA lab. Using modern techniques, they extracted a usable DNA profile from the crime scene. Then came the critical steps, comparing it to national databases. After months of analysis, they found a match. The DNA belonged to a man named James Van Nest, a neighbor of Debra Lee Miller's apartment complex at the time of the murder. Van Nest had been questioned briefly back in the 1980s, but he was never considered a suspect. Now, decades later, the genetic evidence was undeniable. Police also discovered that Van Nest had a history of violence and sexual assault that had gone undetected at the time. Investigators realized that someone had been living under the radar, right next door to the victim. That's fucking scary. The news of the DNA match sent shockwaves through Mansfield. Families who thought the case was lost forever finally saw a glimmer of justice. But questions remained. How had Van Nest avoided detection for so long? And could this evidence